Have you ever reflected on paths not taken, wondering how different choices might have shaped your life? As we journey through the years, our decisions either build a foundation for fulfillment or slowly erode our well-being. What's concerning is that some missteps seem insignificant at first, but compound over time, potentially leading to isolation, financial hardship, and preventable health challenges. In today's video, we're exploring 5 critical mistakes people make in their golden years that can silently undermine their quality of life. You might be surprised by some of these because they often develop so gradually that they go unnoticed until the consequences become substantial. The good news? Once you recognize these patterns, you'll be empowered to make wiser choices, minimize regrets, and take meaningful control of your future. Stay with us until the end. This isn't merely about avoiding pitfalls, it's about ensuring your later years overflow with joy, purpose, and vibrant health. We'll examine exactly what these 5 mistakes entail, why they occur, and how you can navigate around them to create a more fulfilling life. If you're concerned about unknowingly limiting your potential, this information will prove invaluable. Now, let's begin. Number 1. Neglecting physical health. One of the most detrimental and common errors people make in their senior years is overlooking their physical well-being. It typically begins innocently enough, perhaps skipping your regular walk on occasion or choosing quick convenience meals over nutritious options. Unfortunately, these small decisions accumulate over time. As mobility diminishes and energy wanes, many assume it's simply an inevitable part of aging. But here's the truth. Much of the decline experienced later in life isn't solely due to advancing years. It stems from inactivity, poor nutritional choices, and disregarding early warning signs of developing health issues. If you've noticed increased stiffness after sitting or realized your balance isn't as reliable as before, your body is sending you an important message. Movement is absolutely essential, regardless of your age. The less active you remain, the more challenging physical activity becomes. Before you realize what's happening, everyday tasks like rising from a chair, climbing stairs, or reaching for items on higher shelves become increasingly difficult. Weakened muscles inevitably lead to compromised balance, significantly raising fall risk, one of the greatest hazards for seniors. A single fall can result in injuries requiring months of recovery or, in some cases, permanently altering your quality of life. Consider Henry's experience. At 74, he viewed himself as reasonably healthy but gradually abandoned his daily walks. Within months, he noticed standing for extended periods became exhausting, and his knees developed persistent aches. By the time he decided to resume exercise, he had lost considerable strength, and even brief walks left him breathless. Rebuilding what he had lost took months, leaving him wishing he had maintained his active routine from the beginning. Another widespread issue involves dietary neglect. Many seniors assume that decreased appetite means nutrition becomes less important. In reality, as we age, our bodies actually require increased amounts of certain nutrients: protein to preserve muscle mass, calcium to maintain bone integrity, and fiber to support digestive health. Relying on highly processed foods, irregular meals, or quick snacks can create deficiencies that leave you lethargic, weaken immune function, and contribute to chronic conditions like diabetes and hypertension. Avoiding regular medical checkups represents another mistake with potentially serious repercussions. Many visit doctors only when something feels significantly wrong, but routine screenings can identify problems early when treatment options are more effective and less invasive. High blood pressure, elevated cholesterol, and even early signs of osteoporosis frequently develop without obvious symptoms, meaning by the time you notice something amiss, damage may already be substantial. Proactive health management means taking initiative rather than waiting until problems become impossible to ignore. Here's the encouraging news. It's never too late to implement positive changes. Even modest improvements, such as incorporating a 15-minute daily walk or replacing processed foods with fresh, whole ingredients, can yield significant benefits. Strength training, even with light weights or resistance bands, helps maintain muscle mass and prevents frailty. Prioritizing regular health screenings can identify concerns before they become serious complications. Caring for your body isn't about denying the aging process. It's about ensuring you can continue enjoying your favorite activities for as long as possible. Number 2, isolating from friends and family. Perhaps the most poignant mistake people make in their later years involves withdrawing from meaningful social connections. Initially, it may seem harmless, perhaps declining certain gatherings, making fewer phone calls, or assuming others are too preoccupied for visits. Over time, however, this isolation can quietly foster loneliness, depression, and even accelerated decline in both mental and physical well-being. As social beings, our need for connection doesn't diminish with age. Staying engaged isn't merely about companionship, it's fundamental to maintaining purpose and emotional health. Many seniors mistakenly believe that loneliness naturally accompanies aging, but nothing could be further from reality. Research reveals that social isolation impacts health as severely as smoking 15 cigarettes daily. It increases heart disease risk, compromises immune function, and has been linked to higher dementia likelihood. When the brain lacks regular stimulation through conversations, shared experiences, and emotional bonds, cognitive processes slow, making memory loss and mental decline more probable. Take Dorothy's story, a 76-year-old who gradually stopped reaching out to friends. She convinced herself they were likely busy with family obligations and wouldn't want to be bothered. Weeks evolved into months, and eventually she spent most days alone with television as her primary companion. She no longer felt like herself. Her energy disappeared, her mood darkened, and she struggled to find motivation for previously enjoyable activities. However, when she finally made the effort to reconnect, calling an old friend, joining a local book club, and inviting grandchildren to visit more frequently, her entire perspective transformed. She felt more engaged, happier, and even noticed improvements in memory and energy levels. Another common mistake involves relying exclusively on family for social interaction. While family relationships are precious, expecting relatives to be your sole source of companionship often leads to disappointment. Loved ones have their own responsibilities, making it essential to develop connections with friends, neighbors, and community members. Having diverse social interactions enriches your life and ensures you don't feel abandoned when family members are unavailable. Technology has revolutionized our ability to stay connected, yet many seniors avoid these tools, finding them overwhelming or unfamiliar. But embracing even simple technologies like video calls, social platforms, or voice messages can maintain meaningful connections, especially when face-to-face visits aren't possible. Learning these tools isn't about following trends. It's about ensuring you remain connected in an increasingly digital world. Remember, it's never too late to rebuild connections. Joining a club, volunteering, attending community events, or simply making weekly calls to friends can profoundly impact your quality of life. The goal isn't maintaining a packed social calendar, but preserving meaningful relationships that keep you mentally sharp, emotionally fulfilled, and engaged with the world around you. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 3, refusing to adapt to change. Among the most significant mistakes people make as they age is resisting necessary adaptation, whether regarding technology, lifestyle adjustments, or evolving social norms. Many seniors firmly resist change, which is understandable. After decades of established routines, learning new approaches can feel unnecessary and uncomfortable. However, rejecting adaptation doesn't prevent the world from evolving. It simply makes navigation more frustrating and isolating. Many assume new technologies belong exclusively to younger generations, but in today's interconnected world, staying engaged often depends on willingness to learn. Whether using smartphones, understanding online banking, or mastering video calls, these skills aren't merely conveniences, they're becoming essential. When seniors refuse to embrace even basic digital tools, they often find themselves excluded from important conversations, struggling with tasks that could be simplified, or even more vulnerable to scams due to limited understanding of how systems function. Consider Albert's experience. At 78, he adamantly refused smartphone adoption, insisting his flip phone remained adequate. Over time, however, he discovered his grandchildren communicated through group chats he couldn't access. His bank required online services for certain transactions, and he missed countless conveniences that could have simplified his daily life. Eventually, he cautiously embraced technology, learning texting, video calling, and even online grocery ordering. What began reluctantly quickly transformed his life in unexpected, positive ways. Another common resistance involves clinging to outdated habits despite better alternatives. This might mean refusing dietary adjustments that could improve health, ignoring modern home safety measures, or dismissing updated medical guidance that contradicts decades-old advice. The stubborn belief that "this is how I've always done it" can prove dangerous, especially when safer, more effective options exist. Change also manifests in relationships. Refusing to adapt can create distance between family members as younger generations communicate differently and maintain different values and lifestyles. Rather than criticizing these differences, approaching them with curiosity and openness strengthens relationships instead of creating barriers. Many seniors discover that once they stop expecting things to remain unchanged and engage with the world as it exists today, they feel more connected and less frustrated. Adapting to change doesn't mean surrendering your identity. It means developing flexibility to continue moving forward. The world progresses in one direction, and willingness to learn and grow leads to greater independence and fulfillment. It's never too late to embrace new approaches, and maintaining an open mind reveals that change isn't something to fear, but can bring unexpected joy and opportunity into your life. Number 4, mismanaging finances. Among the most devastating mistakes in later years is failing to manage finances prudently. It's tempting to believe money matters less as you age, particularly after retirement when you've accumulated savings or retirement funds. However, financial missteps, whether overspending, underestimating future expenses, or neglecting emergency planning, can quickly transform what should be comfortable years into a period of anxiety, struggle, and unwanted dependence on others. Many seniors fall into the dangerous assumption that their savings are sufficient, only to discover too late that medical expenses, inflation, and unexpected costs deplete resources faster than anticipated. Financial security isn't merely about initial savings, it's ensuring those resources endure. Even those financially comfortable during working years may struggle without adjusting spending habits to align with this new life chapter. Consider Richard's experience. At 72, he spent freely during retirement, confident in his substantial savings. He enjoyed travel, purchased gifts for grandchildren, and dined out regularly. However, by his late 70s, he noticed his reserves diminishing while medical expenses accumulated. Having failed to plan for long-term care costs, he reluctantly turned to his children for financial support, something he had desperately hoped to avoid. Had he practiced more mindful spending earlier, he could have preserved his savings and maintained financial independence. Another common error involves abandoning financial planning after retirement. Many assume that once they stop working, they no longer need to monitor investments, budgeting, or financial adjustments. In reality, money management remains a lifelong responsibility, and even in later years, prudent financial decisions significantly impact comfort and peace of mind. Tracking expenses, understanding healthcare cost projections, and planning for potential long-term care can prevent future financial hardship. Seniors represent prime targets for financial predators, and perhaps the most heartbreaking way people lose security is through misplaced trust. Phone scams, email fraud, and even manipulative individuals posing as financial advisors can rapidly deplete lifetime savings. Many seniors grew up in an era of greater trust, which scammers readily exploit. Learning to recognize financial deception, avoiding unsolicited offers, and consulting trusted advisors before major financial decisions can prevent devastating losses. The foundation of financial security in later years isn't extraordinary wealth, it's wisdom. Creating a realistic budget, eliminating unnecessary expenses, and planning for future needs helps ensure resources last throughout your lifetime. It's never too late to make adjustments, and even modest financial changes now can mean the difference between peace of mind and financial distress later. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 5, ignoring mental growth and purpose. Perhaps the most overlooked yet profoundly impactful mistake people make in their senior years involves abandoning personal growth and losing their sense of purpose. Many fall into the mindset that retirement signals the end of learning, goal setting, and meaningful contribution. In truth, having something purposeful to anticipate each day, whether a hobby, passion, or new challenge, represents one of the most crucial factors in maintaining mental sharpness, emotional fulfillment, and physical vitality. A widespread misconception is that cognitive decline inevitably accompanies aging. While aging does bring certain changes, your brain remains capable of learning, adapting, and forming new neural connections throughout life. The real threat isn't age itself, it's mental inactivity. When seniors abandon intellectually stimulating pursuits, cognitive function deteriorates. Research consistently shows that those who continue learning through reading, puzzles, or acquiring new skills experience significantly less cognitive decline. Consider Linda's experience. At 70, she had always been curious and active. But post-retirement, she found herself watching television most days, believing her best years had passed. Gradually, she noticed increased forgetfulness, diminished interest in conversations, and general disengagement from life. Then she enrolled in an art class at her community center, something entirely new to her. Within weeks, she experienced renewed purpose. Her mind felt sharper, and she developed meaningful new friendships. Another critical mistake involves losing reasons to greet each morning with anticipation. Many spend decades building careers, raising families, and managing responsibilities, only to feel adrift when these roles fade. Without purpose, boredom and depression quickly emerge. Having meaningful engagement, whether volunteering, mentoring younger generations, gardening, or writing, creates essential structure, motivation, and fulfillment. Some seniors avoid new experiences fearing failure or believing opportunities have expired. The reality? Age has nothing to do with learning capacity. Some of the most inspiring stories feature individuals who launched new careers, mastered languages, or embraced new hobbies in their 70s, 80s, or even 90s. Growth doesn't cease at any predetermined age. It stops when curiosity and effort cease. Maintaining mental activity and purpose impacts not just mood, but longevity, cognitive function, and physical health. Those who continue challenging themselves, nurturing curiosity, and finding new ways to contribute lead happier, more fulfilling lives, regardless of age. Your mind remains capable of growth, and your life retains profound meaning. The key is maintaining forward focus, embracing continuous learning, and never accepting that your best days have passed. Final thoughts. Having explored these 5 critical mistakes, take a moment to consider which might be influencing your life or affecting loved ones around you. Aging isn't merely about accumulating years, it's about choices that determine whether your later chapters overflow with joy, purpose, and independence, or regret and frustration. The encouraging news? Avoiding these pitfalls doesn't require dramatic transformation. Small, consistent adjustments in approaching health, relationships, mindset, and finances significantly impact overall well-being. If you've neglected physical health, now is the perfect moment to prioritize movement, nutrition, and preventive care. If isolation has crept into your routine, reconnect with old friends, cultivate new relationships, and embrace technology that fosters engagement. If you've resisted adaptation, remember that embracing change doesn't diminish your identity. It provides tools for maintaining independence in an evolving world. If financial concerns have surfaced, take proactive steps toward security by eliminating unnecessary expenses and protecting yourself from potential pitfalls. If purpose seems elusive, start small. Open a book, try something new, or share your wisdom and experience with others. Today's choices shape tomorrow's quality of life. It's never too late to take control, make better decisions, and ensure your later years rank among your finest. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love hearing from you. Please comment below, sharing one insight gained and how you plan to apply it. Your thoughts truly matter to us. Reading your comments provides tremendous motivation and encouragement. If you found value in today's discussion, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support enables us to continue creating meaningful content to inform and inspire. Thanks for watching. We look forward to connecting again in our next video.